G'day, g'day, g'day. This is Charlie, and I'm coming to you today from my locals community with your daily dose of business inspiration. Come on over and join me at askcharlyleetham.locals.com. You can join the community for free. You can become a supporter and gain access to supporter-only content, be able to comment on and create your own conversations. And apart from that, it does help me keep creating content like this. I want to get into today's topic though, 172, finding balance in entrepreneurship. It's going to be a bit of a difficult one because I'm not sure I'm there yet. I have to say that a lot of what I talk on, I try to practice what I preach. I'm not going to say that I am successful 100% in what I do. I think I'm getting pretty good at it, but I don't know if I'm 100% successful, and I don't know if I will ever be 100% successful because it should be a continual improvement game, a game to me. But let's talk about finding some balance in entrepreneurship. There are challenges when you become an entrepreneur. There's challenges in balancing your personal life and your work life. There's a demanding workload when you're an entrepreneur. If you are an entrepreneur with a young family, there's also a demanding workload with the young family. Maybe not just the young family, maybe just any part of the family. So you are faced with long hours, high demands, and it makes it challenging to balance personal and professional life. I mean, I'm not going to preach to I'm not going to sort of say anything here that I think people are going to go, is that right? I think people know this. Stress and burnout, constant pressure can lead to stress and burnout if it's not managed properly. And there's that blurring of boundaries. How many times have you been sitting at dinner and your phone's buzzed and you're like, oh, that's an email. I'll just answer that now while I'm sitting here. Or you're trying to get out the door to get to the kids' concert. And I'm going to talk to young parents here, or parents of young children. Yeah, you're trying to get to the kids' concert and someone rings and needs to negotiate the contract. I'm always put in mind of the movie Hook with Robin Williams, when he's meant to be watching the kids' concert or be at the kids' concert, but he ends up having to be in a meeting and he ends up regretting that. But yeah, those boundaries blur, and it's so easy for those boundaries to blur. So how can you address some of it? Well, let's talk about some three simple points. Well, 3 points. Whether it's simple or not is another matter, isn't it? You need to schedule your downtime. It's not just schedule your downtime. You need to schedule your time. This is work time. This is excuse me. This is personal time. And this is my rest time. This is my relaxation time. This is my personal activity time. If you think I'm joking about that, you really need to look at my calendar. I have blocked out in my calendar. This is my time. This is time that I am setting aside for myself. Yes, it feels like it's part of my business when I look at it, but then I step out of it and I'm in my own time. And my team knows that when I've blocked that out in my calendar, they don't bother me. They address things and they hold them until I'm back online, because I will be back online. I'm not gone forever. I'm gone for an hour or two, or maybe 4 hours while I go and do a bushwalk or go and do something with my family. You need to set clear boundaries. Now, this can be pretty difficult. I understand that. And again, this is why I use my calendar. You need to define your specific work hours and your personal time, and you need to stick to them as much as possible. Notice I say as much as possible. It's not clear cut. It's not black and white. This is work time. This is business time. Sorry, this is personal time. There will be days that you go, yep, I'm going to have to shuffle things around. But if you take an hour out of your personal time, make sure you get that hour back elsewhere. I was listening to Leverage in Business podcast. I can't think of the episode number. I will try to link it in the description though. And the speaker was talking about how, because he's got a young family, and he's only got 2 hours of a night that he can spend with his kids, because he finishes work at 5. They finished all their homework and stuff. He goes upstairs. He has his dinner with them. He spends some time with them, and then they're in bed by 7:30. So 2.5 hours is the time he has to spend with his kids. If he takes half an hour out of that time, that is a significant chunk of time out of the kid's time with him that he's taking. It's not a significant amount of time for his business. So he's become very, very strong and firm about, no, 5 o'clock is the time I finish and go and spend time with my kids. He can always go back to work after 7:30 when the kids are in bed. He can always go back and address it. But he's not always going to get that time back with his kids, is he? Especially not at that age. So set clear boundaries. Next difficult one, learn to say no. Yep, I have trouble saying no. It's really, really hard for some people to say, no, I can't do that, or no, not now, or I can do that, but I can't do it yet. I can do that in 3 days or 2 days or in another hour. And so you've got to really practice saying no. It can be one of the hardest words in the book to say. I've got to say, it's just, yeah, it's one of those things. But you need to learn to protect your time and your energy by being selective about what commitments and you're taking on, and delegate tasks when you need to. So practice saying the no. The other thing you need to do is maintain your well-being. Incorporate regular exercise, healthy eating, and mindfulness practices into your routine. I'm not going to speak on mindfulness practices. I am not an expert, I'm not trained in it. I just know what works for me, and sometimes they don't work because I'm not doing them properly. Regular exercise and healthy eating, though, I have been on a kick for the last 60 days, 90 days, I guess. And it's starting to have an impact. I'm starting to feel energized again. I'm starting to feel better in myself. Time management, use tools and techniques, not the tools and techniques, to manage your time effectively. My calendar is God. Honestly, I don't know how I live without a calendar, how I would live without a calendar. I have used a calendar, honestly, since before my kids were born. And it got down to a point where my kids were getting old enough that, "Mum, can you come and do this? Mum, can you come to this concert? Mate, put it in my calendar." And they're looking at me like, "Well, can't you just take the time off?" Yes, I can, but put it in my calendar and it becomes a priority, and you become a priority for me. And they're like, "Oh, we become a priority." So honestly, they still, even now, my daughter will still slip into my calendar and say, "Mum, I've booked us something. It's in your calendar. I'm coming to pick you up." And she makes sure she puts in buffer time too, so she can make sure, so I can stop doing what I'm doing and get myself ready and be ready to go. And get some support. Build a support network, friends, family, mentors. Now, be careful with your friends and family because not all of them will understand what you're doing, but build a support network. Get guidance, get encouragement. Come over and join. And I'm not doing this to promote my locals community, but this is why I created my locals community, because entrepreneurs, business owners need a support network. They need somewhere they can go, even if it's just to vent or just to say, "I'm really stuck. What do I do here?" So there you go. There's some things to think about balancing and finding harmony between entrepreneurship and personal time. What do you guys think? What have you found works? What doesn't work? What do you keep hearing that you think, "Yeah, why do people keep saying this? It's rubbish. It just doesn't work." And what do you think? What do you wish people would talk about more? I would love to know your thoughts. So come across to Locals, ask charlyleetham.locals.com, leave some comments there, join in the conversation. As always, please remember to like this video, subscribe to my channel, ring the notification bell so you find out when I drop more content. If you can leave a review wherever you are listening to or watching this, I would sincerely appreciate it. I do try to catch up on all of the reviews, keep across them, make sure I know what people are saying, and maybe share this content with someone who you think might benefit from it today. Tomorrow, I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to speak, not from fixed up notes, but from my own personal experience. And the title that I've come up with so far, which will probably change, is "Are you selling or are you serving?" And it's based on some personal experiences I've had recently. I will see you all tomorrow, though. Have a great and fantastic day, guys. Bye.